heard and what new
Uh,
have you heard from the other people this morning?
um, I can say that the the spirit of being together continue to create the community that each and every one of us is so much deepening, continue creating this inclusiveness that we are enjoying, that continue inspiring us. Hearing from the whole, I think that this uh, experience that we're learning from each other is is truly building this endeavor inside me to continue what we have demonstrated so far here in Ivory Coast, and what I continue learning from this kind of circle. Uh, I think that the inspiration that I draw from this wisdom circle is so much to me. And my spirit is always awakening once after have engaged in this meeting. Sorry, we have a little electric breakdown. So yes, the electricity have just cut in since about 5 minutes ago. But I'm using a battery that is giving energy to the computers, but I don't know if it can last for a longer time. So
Okay. All right.
yes.
We noticed
Wow.
you went into darkness there. We're sorry you're having those problems, Ofu. So does anybody else want to respond back to what others have shared and said? And I know Andrew kind of wanted to say something back to REA.
Andrew?
Yeah, what I wanted to say, Arya, was that the difference in approach is the difference between coming as a humble learner as opposed and sharing the best of what you have been given, as opposed to coming with a conversion mentality, or even I'm in my box, you're in your box, and here's what I can share about who I am, but never the twain can meet. And the difference is very significant because I think in the larger scheme of things, the mental constructs that we have around religion are not, they're not big enough, can never be big enough, never be adequate enough to describe the real life experiences of the spirit. And therefore, and I think that experience of seeing that and talking with other people melts the borders. And so instead of having one window looking at another window and exchanging, it's as if the window frames disappeared and the windows disappeared, and all of a sudden we are looking at each other from each other's hearts. Very different perspective.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
In response to Wendy's suggestion, and since everybody else has shared, maybe we'll answer the same question ourselves, like what changed for us and what new did it cause us to think we might do? Do you want to?
Go ahead.
Well, I think for me, it was just a big overarching experience because I'd never been with so many different faiths represented in one place at one time. And it was, I suppose I went in with all kinds of projections and assumptions about who the people in robes were going to be and who the people with feathers were going to be. And, you know, it was just like a really beautiful coming together of color and diversity and approaches to trying to cooperate together for a better world. And I left feeling like that was part of the conference. And I would say probably one of the most moving experiences that I had that really brought me to tears was that every day the Sikhs would provide a free meal for everybody there. And what you would do is you'd go into this huge, enormous room where they had carpets on the floor, and you parked your shoes, and then you got a head cover. Everybody got a fresh, clean head cover that they put on you, and you washed your hands, and then you went and you sat on the floor on an equal playing field with everybody else. Old, young, fat, skinny, we were all one, sitting on the carpets together. And then the Sikhs brought food around, very generous food. If you wanted more, you got more. And even the little kids would come around, 5, 6 years old, with big pitchers, and they'd pour your mango drink and water. And it was just really a We Are One experience. It was very, very moving. So in a moment like that, it just showed me what's possible. And the point of the Sikhs, I mean, I can't repeat the whole story, but the idea is that nobody should go hungry, and there's always enough to feed everybody. And everybody is worthy. We're all equal. It was the whole setting, and the way that they described it and set it up for us was very, very powerful and moving, and a real symbol of the way life could be. So that was a big experience for me.
I think I'm reminded about the teachings from my tradition of when Abraham and Sarah started out on their journey toward the land of milk and honey, and they just said yes to experience, really not knowing what was ahead. And what I experienced with the people there was that these people were all those who came out of their comfortable places, out of their homes, to be with each other. And they had an intuition, like Abraham and Sarah, Abram and Sarai, that there was more. But a lot of the people, what surprised me, came to our booth and wept. They just wept, and they just came into an embrace that was just spontaneous many, many times. And I realized that most people have not had this experience with the others that I think it was Andrew who was just describing, of really engaging the other and having this profound experience of surrendering one's own personal frame of reference and seeing the windows and the frames dissolve and experiencing the one, wahad, echad, uno, adin, whatever the language is. And so it encouraged me. I realized that where we live here, that it's going to be important to apply ourselves to allowing people to have the experience, because speeches and lecture series analysis aren't going to do anymore, and to do whatever I can to bring people up and give them an experience of engaging one another and who are unlike themselves. And most of us are unlike each other anyway. So I kind of redoubled my effort to do that wherever it seems possible and people are interested and eager. Yep.
I would just add that if you recall, one of the pictures showed 2 women, Raida, the Palestinian woman from our booth, and another woman, and they're hugging, and you see their 2 faces together. Can you recall that particular picture? And it turned out that Raida, being a Palestinian, met this young woman who came to our booth several times. She just kept coming back, and it was that she came from a family of settlers in Israel. So she is a potential enemy of Raida, a Palestinian, because the settlers cause a lot of havoc to a lot of the people. And this young woman came in, and they found each other, and they just kept reconnecting all weekend. And this girl kept coming back and just hanging out in our booth and hanging out with Raida. It was just kind of one of those stories, where you see what Andrew described as the windows opening really happened there. It was really sweet.
Also, we did experience just what you said, like what Wendy said, that music can.
I just want to ask, is this the picture over here?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And music can unify, food unifies, being together unifies potentially if we can listen and experience the stillness that Andrew teaches and Dan encourages as well.